Good evening. Hi, I'm your moderator. I'm Sheila Smoot, and I will be moderating this part of your panel as well. I want everybody to give a hand to these candidates who decided to face this great audience.
Sheila, before we start, I was going to ask the pastor, anyone can turn the mics up?
Can you test your mic? 1, 2, 3, Mr. Scott?
Test.
Hello.
Test.
Turn the volume up on the
Collins,
mic.
DM Collins, test 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3.
And here we go, Mr. Frederick.
1, 2, 3. 1,
All
2,
right,
3.
Mr. Frederick.
Okay.
Okay. You good? Again, I'm Sheila Smoot, and I will be moderating this forum. At the time of, I'm going to ask my timekeeper. This is Sarah Beth Conkle. She is our timekeeper. She will give you that red flag. That's 30 seconds. I will say 30 seconds. I will try to be very light so I don't interrupt you. I want you to continue your train of thought. We'll give you a 15 seconds, and then we'll give you a time, and we will not interrupt your thought. However, if you continue on, I'll do it 3 times, and then we'll cut your mics off. And that we never had to with this forum. This is our 9th forum, in fact, in all cities. So you're very special. We appreciate being invited to Centerpoint, and we're honored to be before your presence, because knowing, as a former county commissioner, I know how it is to run for office, and it is grueling. So I know you want this week to be over. It's almost over. And again, we're appreciative of being here. I do want to give a point of personal privilege. I would like to say hello to our Jefferson County School Board member, Stephanie Floyd. Stephanie? So we are very excited that you allowed us. Also, can we just give deference to Centerpoint Church of Christ for allowing us to be in this community space? So again, if you have your phones on, it's fine. You can answer them. Just be, you can turn them on silent or anything, or just step outside if you wish to take a call. It's okay. It's 7:30, and at this time, we are going to open it up. Here are the rules for today's forum. We're going to give you a 30-second intro to opening statements. Make it good, make it brief, and make it consensus. So, don't go into a rambling session about, tell us exactly, and don't speak to me, you're speaking to the audience and to the camera, exactly why you feel you should be the mayor of Centerpoint. Also, 2 minutes for each question, and we will give you that, and we will give a chance, if somebody calls somebody's name, we will give a 30-second rebuttal, and we will ask you to be brief. This is an informational session. Forums are not like debates. Debates are where you go back and forth. Forums are where the community gets education and where you can ask questions as well. We're going to go in alphabetical order, I am told, before, and then I'll do a kamikaze. I'll start mixing it up a little bit so the same person won't get the question. Also, at the end, we'll allow you 30 seconds to give your best pitch. And think on that. It should be brief, but it should be concise. And then we will definitely take questions from the audience. So audience, get your questions together, and I will walk around to make sure that they are gotten. If you don't have questions, we'll keep it moving, and then we'll wrap up. Any questions for me? Okay. All right. All right. Introductions. We are going to start with Mr. Frederick Burks, candidate for mayor of Centerpoint.
Good evening. I am Frederick A. Burks. I am running for Centerpoint's mayor, and I'm just glad to be here tonight.
Our next candidate is DM Collins, candidate for Centerpoint mayor.
Good evening. I am DM Collins. I've called Centerpoint home for the last 8 years. I moved here, bought my first home when my son was just 6 months old. Professionally, I've worked in healthcare for the last 13 years. I'm here tonight because I believe in Centerpoint. I believe that Centerpoint is on the cusp of greatness, but Centerpoint needs a mayor with vision and bold leadership. And I do think that I am the woman for that job. Thank you.
Bobby Scott, incumbent mayor for City of Centerpoint.
Good evening. I'm Mayor Bobby Scott, the current mayor of the City of Centerpoint, Alabama. I've been here for 23 years. I've raised 2 kids here. I also love Centerpoint. I wanted to grow. I wanted to see it better, and we have accomplished a lot of things in a short term. And I would like to be able to continue to push those items and work with the council that also sees the potential.
Thank you. Here's your first question. And we'll start with you, Mr. Burks. Constituents, city staff, elected officials, and many others have a wide variety of opinions and also political leanings. This is a nonpartisan race. We'll stay in that lane. Please elaborate on how you would balance your personal ideology with your larger constituency who may be at odds with your personal beliefs about how this city should be run. Are you able to dish it out, or can you take it?
Oh, yes, I am. As a Birmingham police officer for over 34 years, I've done some things and I've heard some things and I even took some orders that I did not like. So, and when it comes to politics, it works the same way. Everybody's got their own opinion, and I can take it as well as give it.
Thank you, Ms. Collins.
I can say that after serving, or as I'm serving as council president for nearly 5 years, this task has not always been easy. But I've learned, and I believe that it's important to stay the course and put your differences aside so that you can affect the greater good. And the greater good is the people of Centerpoint. So there are going to be times when I may not agree with my council, but keeping in mind that the reason that I am here is to be the people's voice and to make sure that their voices are included in the decisions that are being made. And I believe that I have shown that over the last 5 years serving as council president. So I do believe that serving as mayor, I will be able to continue that as well.
Mayor Scott, would you like me to read the question?
Please.
Okay. Again, constituency, staff, elected officials, and many others have a wide variety of opinions and also political leanings. This is a nonpartisan race. Please elaborate, however, on how you would balance your personal ideology with your larger constituency who may be at odds with maybe your personal beliefs, and how you decide you want to run the city. They may have a different take on it. The kitchen down here gets hot, and you stay in the heat.
Yes, as the mayor for the last 5 years, I've heard literally all of those disagreements or differences. So I am a public servant first, regardless of your color, your political beliefs. My job is to serve the people of Centerpoint. And I've shown that over the last 5 years by showing up at your house when you're in need, picking up food bags. My city is like my family. So there has never been a time where I have turned anybody down or turned anybody away from help. If I cannot help them personally, we have resources that we look for to continue to help our residents and their quality of life. So whatever your personal beliefs are, we are still human beings, and we are still people, and we are still residents of the city of Centerpoint.
Thank you. Ms. Collins, there seems to be, this is on the, people would like to say sometimes the edge of night. You're right down, you're down in it. I do remember when this was under the leadership of unincorporated Jefferson County. In fact, I remember when your Mayor Henderson, your first mayor, asked me for Christmas lights, and I said, you're a city now. We don't do that for you. So you've been operating a while now as your own entity, which is a hard task in itself. What do you think needs to happen now that the city of Centerpoint has gone beyond not being unincorporated, being a city, gone beyond being a mayor, having another mayor, and now having another group of people wanting to be mayor? What is the most pressing need that you see that can grow the city of Centerpoint strategically so that citizens benefit?
The number one need in Centerpoint today is we need to address public safety. Our neighbors don't feel safe in their homes, and it's time out for the studies, it's time out for the different talks and discussions, it's time for action. And as mayor, we need someone that's going to take that bold step and say, this is the plan so that our citizens, so that I and myself, my family, and our neighbors and their families feel safe in their home. And that means starting a police department with the funds that we have currently and working with agencies so that our citizens, our neighbors, our families feel safe in their homes.
Mr. Scott?
I've sat up here and I've heard all the discussions as far as public safety, and what a lot of people, that if you're not attending the council meetings or if you're not having the conversations, don't realize is that last year's budget included room for police officers. We've spent the greater part of that time looking for certified, trained officers to start our own police department. But it is something that has to be done rationally and with the money that we have in mind. We can't afford to spend all of our money on a police department, but still want to develop parks and still want to create resources for our residents. There are a lot of aspects to a city budget. There are a lot of aspects to a city. And what we want to do is logically work with the council, have the financial meetings, not get tied up in the personal issues of personalities, to make sure that our people know that no matter what the case is, we're working for them. So our crime statistics are down. We've had to go to Jefferson County a number of times to make sure that they are doing what we need them to do. We also have public safety officers that patrol our neighborhoods. We are looking for additional police officers. That plan is in place, and we would love to switch that over to a police department when it is sufficient and the funds are available that we can sustain it long term.
Mr. Burks, what should happen? What's the strategic plan that you have for the city of Center Point?
My plan for Centerpoint includes straightening up this budget that we keep bringing up. This budget is not the kind of budget I would have. I don't know why the city council has an $84,000 budget. I don't know why we're paying the fire dues of $40,000 and they sit in the same city and use our utilities and buildings. We can do this. Centerpoint, it's time out. It's the excuses has to stop. We must start. Our citizens deserve it. Our businesses deserve it. Our families deserve it. We have the funds here, and it can be done. For everyone that thinks that we can't do it, we can do it. The money's here.
Thank you, Mr. Burks. I apologize. You want to rebuttal what he said based on,
Oh, I just wanted to, can I respond?
pardon?
Can I respond?
If we can do a rebuttal, but you can do your response within your question if you like to. And what would you like your response to be before you tell me what, are you responding to his commentary in regard to the budget?
Yes.
Okay, and it's based on you being on the council?
Yes.
I will allow that,
Okay.
and you have 30 seconds.
Okay. So we do have the funds to sustain the city and also address the public safety. And I think that's important for us to say that there are other cities that are able to sustain their budget, provide services while also providing safety for their citizens. So I don't think that it's fair to say that we don't want to go broke by having a police department, because there are smaller cities that have police departments that address the safety of their citizens. And we can do that with the budget that we have.
Because you are the current incumbent, Mayor, would you like to respond? You have 30 seconds. We're talking about your current city budget.
Right, the current city budget, like I just said, last year's budget, we made room in that budget for 3 officers. It's not the money, it's the hiring. We want responsible, experienced officers in our city. We don't want to end up in a situation where we have a lawsuit and now we're paying a resident because our officers weren't trained or efficient enough to take care of the city. We want officers that relate to our people. We want officers that are going to serve our people and not just people driving around and making your lives harder than it has to be.
Thank you so much for those responses. Thank you so much for the opportunity to appreciate that. Okay, seems like policing is an issue here. Policing's an issue here. And you are currently you're policed by, you're contracted with Jefferson County deputies out. And is that still the case?
That's
And you wish to have your own police department. And you wish to fund your own police department. Mayor Scott, I'll start with you. How do you anticipate doing that? Why is it necessary to end a contract with the current policing entity that you've had since you set up as a city? And kind of a little bit after that, I think they contracted out. But tell me why that's important to these residents and how that's going to benefit them by you having your own police department. But mainly, how are you going to fund it?
So Jefferson County previously had a contract with the city of Centerpoint to police our community because we were a small city and we could not afford to bring in our own police departments. So with that contract, we contract our deputies, but they have the traffic program. A lot of people are aware that we have traffic cameras. That's a large portion of that is safety, public safety funds, which we can't use on anything else but public safety. So our goal with Centerpoint is set up to where we can create a hybrid police department that serves all of Centerpoint. Jefferson County has some of the most well-trained deputies, and they're always on the parkway. There's a substation in Centerpoint. So I don't think it's necessarily breaking the contract. I think it's figuring out how to work with Jefferson County and at the same time build our hybrid police department that has mental health aspects to it, that has neighborhood patrol aspects to it, that has public relations aspects to it, so that our people can see and have that pride in our city. A lot of our issues go right back to the buy-in from our residents. Our residents have to be on board with whatever our decisions are. And once we get our residents on board, you'll see a lot of changes in our city because our residents will feel like their government is listening to them.
How do you fund it?
We fund it by we do have our camera program. So we fund it that way. We fund it with, there's gonna have to be a slight tax increase to make sure that it is consistently sustained throughout. We don't wanna cut services that our residents depend on, debris pickup, different things like that we provide to our residents on a regular basis. But we do wanna make sure that whatever it is, whatever that funding option is sustainable. We don't wanna turn around and drop a police department in 5 years. We want it to last.
Thank you. And we are going to go to Mr. Burks. You've been a police officer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Where, was that Birmingham?
Birmingham,
34 years?
34 years.
What ranks have you had?
I just stopped at corporal.
Okay, well, that's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So Corporal, tell us, and then being in retirement, being here now, policing seems to be a really big issue right now. There's a contract that's exuded with the Jefferson County, and they have a substation. Why do you think there needs to be a different model of policing, if you think that? Or do you stay with the same policing model and increase it? And how do you plan to fund it?
Number one, 2 officers per shift is not gonna make it. We have 16,000 people here. So with that being said, 2 officers from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 2 officers from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is not enough. Yes, they still answer calls after 10 p.m., but you don't get the responsibility. I've had to call the police myself and had to wait 2 hours because they had to bring the deputy from Bessemer when we already paying officers to be in Centerpoint. Our problem is when a big call goes out in this area, those deputies answer to Jefferson County. And when they move, they leave the city. That leaves us without officers. The plan I have, like I said, I mentioned the budget. I'm looking at $1.6 million to start this police department. With a chief, 3 sergeants, and 15 officers, our budget will come up to about $880,000. That still leaves $800,000 to buy vehicles, supplies, uniforms.
30 seconds.
We can do this. The budget surely shows that we can do it. We got to do it. Centerpoint, you deserve it.
Thank you, Mr. Burks. Ms. Collins?
I would like to clear up something. So Centerpoint has 4 contract deputies to enforce our local laws. Those 4 contract deputies are on top of the coverage that Jefferson County should provide to Centerpoint. So if we didn't have the contract for the 4 deputies to enforce our local laws, meaning our different codes like the weeds and the noise complaints, Jefferson County would still have the responsibility of protecting the citizens of Centerpoint. Now, I do see in the budget that we do have the funding to start a small police department. I think it's funny that you mentioned the 15 and the chief with the 3 supervisors and the 15 and the 11 officers. I just had my safety meeting with those same numbers. But what I presented in that safety meeting was that we have enough funding for a 15-person police department and starting a small municipal court. And if you look at our current budget, there is funding available for us to start a small police department while also utilizing Jefferson County Sheriff's Department as a hybrid, so that we will still work with Jefferson County based on the plan that I have to start the small police department. The salary for a 15-person police department would be from about $900,000 to $1.6 million, and a small municipal court, part-time municipal court, will be about $100,000 to $150,000. And we have those funds in our budget to fund a small police department. And if you look at other cities around Centerpoint, they also are able to fund public safety the same way that I have addressed in this plan that I have, that will allocate about 40% of our budget to public safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question, you talked about building up tax base. You can't do anything without a tax base. You all know that. I'm sure the public knows that too. And tell me, how are you planning to develop this tax base? I.e. new housing, i.e. new business, and i.e. how are you planning on keeping existing business? What is your plan and your strategic plan and your timeline in order to accomplish that? Let me start with Mr. Brooks.
A plan. Okay. Testing 1, 2. Going out. Well,
You go ahead, I need you to hit that mic.
Well, the plan is real simple. We start small and we work our way up. For us, developing our neighborhoods, to getting businesses in our neighborhoods, to also getting residents to even stay in our neighborhoods. We start from small. If we have to increase any, it should start in the neighborhoods so the citizens feel safe. So the businesses will stay here. Whatever it takes to make it happen, we need to do that. We've been here over 25 years, and a lot has changed in those 25 years. It's time to move Centerpoint forward and stop making excuses.
You have a timeline for that?
I'm looking at it with the police department within a year, within development of bringing business in here, when we get those stats down that Jefferson County gives out. I'm looking at within a year to 2 years on that.
Thank you, Mr. Burks. Ms. Collins?
Yes, I have a 4-point economic development plan. Step one of that is to cut the red tape. I hear from our contractors and our business owners that it's difficult to navigate the application, permitting, and inspections process. And if you have difficulties with bringing in and starting up businesses, that's a threat to our local economy. And so I would work to centralize that process to get businesses started so that they feel and know that they can come here and they'll have a fair shot, an equitable shot at starting a business here. As a council president, number 2, I started 2 grant programs for small businesses. One, to improve the facade of commercial properties in the city, and 2, to incentivize new businesses to come into Centerpoint. And so I would work to really expand those two grant programs so that we're able to attract new businesses, new diverse businesses. Right now, we have about the same type of businesses along the parkway, which are tire shops. We got a lot of chicken restaurants, and I would like to see more diverse businesses. Right now, we don't have a lot of healthcare for our citizens outside of our senior citizens. So I would look to put those funding into incentivizing and bringing in new businesses. And number 3 of that plan is workforce development. While bringing in new businesses is great, we also want to make sure that our residents are ready to work. So we want to provide them with the programming that they need and the education that they need to be ready to work. And 4th, my commitment to a police department directly supports economic development by making Centerpoint more attractive to investors and families. A safe city is a prosperous city. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Here's Scott.
Can you?
Yes. You have talked often about this tax base, and you have to fund these things and improve your budget. Where's this tax base going to come from? How did you develop this tax base? What is your plan, your strategic plan on building up a tax base, i.e. bringing in new businesses, having new existing businesses? What is the strategic plan to do that, and what is the timeline for that?
Right. Our tax base over the last 5 years has been consistently growing. We've opened 9 restaurants within the city of Centerpoint since our administration started. Simone's is one of the hottest restaurants on the east side right now. Rochelle's Coffee, Caitlin's Cafe, Zadie's, all of these restaurants are doing great business in Centerpoint, and we have more businesses interested in Centerpoint. As far as the inspections process, we've already changed our personnel in the inspections process. The council just voted on new software recently that consolidates all of our departments so that our revenues are easily trackable and collectible from all aspects of our administration. Healthcare. I've been currently talking to owners of buildings to bring a clinic to Centerpoint. Judith Healthcare has been a proposal that I've been working with one of our local business owners with over the last 6 months. So things are moving. A lot of times you don't like to give away things because they may or may not materialize, but we have a lot of positive things going in the right direction. Workforce development, we've been working with Jeff State. Jeff State wants to bring a CDL school to Centerpoint. So there's a bunch of things in progress. There's a bunch of things the wheels are turning. We finished up some projects that had been started way before we were in office. We've gotten those started up. Road work. Centerpoint is moving in the right direction. It may not be the way some people vision it or see it, but it is moving. And we want to continue to make that move a positive move.
Thank you. And we're going to start with Ms. Collins. You talked about businesses. You talked about small businesses. What is your plan to bring in industry, to bring in big businesses? UAB is the largest employer in the state of Alabama, and they just opened up a hospital in McCalla. They have, you have Grandview, you have Brook Highland. I don't think there's any of those entities on this side of town. Yet they're going to other cities your size. And they bring jobs, they bring doctors, nurses, they bring caregivers. What is your plan to go into that space of business, i.e. healthcare is hot. The largest employer is up the street from you in the state of Alabama. UAB is also the 8th largest hospital in the nation, and you're minutes from it. Also, IT, technology, things that are forward 25, 30 years as opposed to doing things that most small towns would consider, with 16,000 people here, 4,029 households, and 4,018 families. What is your plan to be more progressive and catch up with your peer groups? I'll start with you, Ms. Collins.
Getting creative with our incentives so that we are attracting those businesses. And what that looks like is we have a lot of land that we have not developed. So offering those companies the incentives to say, hey, We have an acre of land for you to come in and open and start your business here. We have this job training programming, and we're able to partner with you so that we have our residents here that's ready to work in those businesses. It also looks like tax abatement, saying, hey, for a certain amount of years, we're going to abate their taxes for a certain level over the years, and that really brings in and incentivizes businesses to come in and say, you know, it looks lucrative to come over here and open up a business. So we want to make sure that first, we're getting creative with reaching those businesses to come in, and then also making sure that our citizens are job ready for those businesses. So what that looks like is partnering with the nonprofits, partnering with our local schools, partnering with the high schools to make sure that our children and our young people, and even those people that are re-entering the workforce are ready to take on those jobs.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Mr. Scott?
I agree with the council president, making sure that our high school kids are ready when they graduate to either go into college or into the workforce. We have a grant that we're working on right now, and I met with those people last week where we sat down and we got with the principal of the high school to create Centerpoint has a trade school type environment where we have beauty schools, hair schools, photography, all of that is already centralized in our school, as well as Jefferson County offering their trade schools where our kids can go to other schools in Jefferson County and learn trades. So continuing to bring that funding in to allow our kids to be job ready after they graduate high school if they're not going to college. Jeff State is literally half a mile up the road from us. And they're also interested in those public-private partnerships within our community. So these are all things that are currently underway, and you know, the ball is rolling. We do need to make sure that we are continuing to develop them, though.
I'm gonna go back to that question, I'm gonna come back to it. Let me get Mr. Burks. Mr. Burks, the question is, how do you build and bring in medical, IT? How do you bring in industry? You do have the workforce. You guys are talking about workforce. You did a little bit on bringing in those businesses from regional. And Mayor Scott, you were more on the line of we're working and partnering with our two-year college system. Great idea, all of that. But that's not bringing in. So what is your plan to bring in those IT firms or work with those medical facilities? Because you got the workforce, you got the kids, you got them ready, they're job ready, but where are they gonna go? I'm gonna come back to you, so because maybe that, I probably should have repeated that for you. Mr. Burks, how are you gonna bring these jobs here? How is Centerpoint transition into that? But does Centerpoint really want to transition into it? Some people like it is. Talk to me.
Well, it's nothing like having a job. Nothing like having a job. So, you know, we're going to continue. We already given the schools funding for different things. All three schools to be exact. And with us continuing to pay into our schools and doing after school care and programs that will bring the young folks and get them interested in working in our area. Now, once we bring our stats down, they're going to want to come here. UAB, other hospitals, other healthcare, we bring our stats down, that's when it starts moving. So we've got to continue to pay into our schools and also get our stats down.
Thank you. Ms. Collins?
So, again, I think it goes back to incentivizing, placing ourselves in a position where the businesses, the big businesses would want to come here. And how do we do that? We make sure that our incentives are creative and are personable to that business. So you mentioned healthcare. We have a lot of undeveloped commercial properties in Centerpoint. One of the programs, the grant programs that I started as council president was a facade improvement program. And so those are $20,000 for commercial property owners to improve the facade of those buildings. So That would help with positioning those property owners to be inviting to those bigger businesses. So I would really work to expand the grant programming so that it is more inviting to those bigger businesses. Again, it's making sure that our incentives, so from the tax abatements, from other programming where we're giving dollars to those businesses to come into our city and say, hey, we have the traffic here, we have the families here, we have the need, we have the desire to have these businesses here, and we have the workforce. So making sure that we're able to tell our story to these big businesses, but also back that up with money. A lot of these businesses look for funding to start up, and we have to be able to give them that funding to start up so that they can contribute in the business to our revenue and build up our businesses. Thank you.
Mayor Scott?
As I mentioned earlier, going out and building those partnerships, networking with corporations, UAB, like you said, is right down the road from us. St. Vincent's, their hospital's 5 miles down. But what we don't have in Centerpoint is that personal health care space that we are currently working on. And we have investors interested, and we're currently talking to them. We want to continue to work with that. We want to continue to offer incentives and things that make Centerpoint attractive. As Officer Burks made a comment about the stats, Centerpoint has had 1 homicide this year. What you're looking at a lot of the time with the zip codes is a lot of other cities' numbers. When you search on any statistical online, it'll show Centerpoint has a high number of crime. But when you take that police report that the sheriff gives you, and you separate out actual Centerpoint addresses, you'll see that the crime in Centerpoint is actually not as bad as the perception of the crime in Centerpoint. And that goes a long way when you get off the exit at Roebuck Parkway. A lot of people will say, you're in Centerpoint. Centerpoint's still 4 miles away from that area. And that's what we also have to work on. I've also already instituted a request for a zip code change so that our statistics can be pulled away from everybody else's statistics. And that way we can make ourselves more attractive to businesses by giving them actual data for our city.
Thank you, very good answers, very good answers. And we're gonna get your questions, give us a couple more. I got one more, and then I'm gonna kind of wrap up, okay? Thank you, you guys are doing great. You know, people do like Centerpoint. They think it is a nice, bedroom, cute community, and thanks for the clarification from all of you on that. And some people do move. We have so much green space, you alluded to that. You have a lot, this is like Park City, right? It's this park, it's green down here. But do you think with other cities developing, Hoover's developing 5,000 homes right now. Trustville, which is right up the street from you, Stockton, and all these big developers are coming in and building these gorgeous houses. But do you want to be that? Or do you think you should be that? Do you think you should increase population? Property taxes come with houses and not multifamily as IE apartments. It comes with single family homes. Do you or do you think there should be a plan for new homes here? And I'll start with you, Ms. Collins.
There absolutely should be a plan for new homes here. But how do we get the people to want to come to Centerpoint? They don't want to come to Centerpoint if they don't feel safe. They don't want to come to Centerpoint if they don't have nice, safe, green spaces to enjoy. And those are the things that we have to work to address. We have a lot of housing, a lot of moderate to low income housing right now, but we want to get that working force in so that we can get those big businesses in. How do we do that? We make sure that we are attractive to families. So what does that look like? Making sure that we have a police department. We have to have better safety in our city so that families feel that they can come here and raise their families and be safe. We have to have nice green spaces for our children, our families, our seniors to enjoy. Right now, we only have 2 parks in the city, and those parks are on the northwest side. We need to make sure that we are putting funds in places that matter, that attract families, so that our city can grow. Yes, we do need new homes so that we can attract new families, more citizens in Centerpoint.
but that's going to take addressing the opportunities and the needs that we have in the city. And we need a leader who's bold enough to step out and say, these are the things that we need to address so that our citizens feel safe, our citizens have pride in where they live, and we can attract new citizens and continue to grow our city. Thank you.
Here's Scott.
Polly Reed Park, Reed Harvey, northeast side. Civitan Park, northeast side. Dog Park, northwest side. Sun Hill Recreation Center, northwest side. We have parks. We actually created a design plan to make the Civitan Park more useful for our public, and it was voted no. I don't have an issue with putting our money into our people and their health in our parks. So again, what we need is a council that sees the same vision. We've started the process of a police department. We're in the process of making Centerpoint as safe as we possibly can. So again, what we need is a council that's going to sit down at the table and talk through all of these issues that we have. So again, and I don't remember what the question is, I'm sorry.
I will repeat the question. As far as, people like it, they sometimes don't want a lot of neighbors. But what is your plan for housing, or do you think housing should expand, especially housing that takes you to the next level? Your neighbors are next door building like wildfire. Is that a plan not to build? Is there a plan to build, and why do you think that should happen?
We would love, Centerpoint
You've
has
got
some
1 minute,
amazing,
and give you 1 minute.
okay, Centerpoint has some amazing houses. That's the reason I picked Centerpoint. We looked at the Hoovers and the Vestavias, and we didn't want a cookie cutter home. We wanted a home with strong foundations that was built from brick. I think Centerpoint has a lot of room to add new housing, but at the same time, our housing stock is really, really good and very rehabable. We've had a lot of companies come in just buying up homes in Centerpoint, but we need more residents that have that investment and live in Centerpoint and not just a lot of rental properties.
Okay, no housing plan, you just want to keep it the way it is?
I would love to grow.
You would love to
There's
grow.
nothing wrong with growth. We could use a population increase. There's nothing wrong with growth and people coming to Centerpoint.
Thank you so much. Mr. Brooks?
Well, growth is always good. It's always good. But growth without making steps to make people feel safe, it's not good. Growth, when I moved in Centerpoint back in 2000, I could leave home, be gone a month, forget to lock my door, and still come home and everything is there. That has changed. We can't do that now. If you want growth, we got to move forward with the police department. And growth will come. We already have the lowest taxes in this area. So people will come if they feel safe. If their families feel safe. If the merchants feel safe. They will come. And I'm all for growing.
Can I respond?
Yes, 30 seconds.
So let me make sure that I clarify. We have two parks. We have a playground on the northwest side, and we have a dog park on the northwest side. But we have two parks for our citizens to enjoy, and they are both on the northeast side. And if we want to attract families throughout the entire city, we need to make sure that we have safe spaces across the entire city so that our citizens can enjoy being outside and enjoy this city that they live in. So I want to make sure that that's clear. We only have two parks. We have a playground on the northwest side, but we have two parks, and we need to grow our green spaces in Centerpoint.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. 30 seconds if you wish to respond, Mayor.
Again, we had a design plan on the table. We had an engineering company come out to look at our park on the northeast side, which is Civitan Park. It's right there off the Parkway. And if you drive past there now, you'll see that we put a fitness center out there to increase public health awareness. We wanted to do a complete design on that, and it was voted no in council. So again, it's not a financial issue that we don't want parks in our city. But we need, like I said, a council that sees that same vision.
Mr. Burks, do you have a response?
No, ma'am. No.
You're gonna stay out of it, Jim. And we're gonna take questions. We are going to take questions from this lady here. Please state your name and tell us what your question is.
Anybody else? I'll come back to you. I'll come over there.
Okay, I'm Donna Crago. In 1998, I bought a home in Jefferson County. In 2003, it became Centerpoint, the city of Centerpoint. What a beautiful situation I had. And I was so proud when it became a city. Since 98, I have had 9 heart surgeries. I wear an ADT medic alert necklace. I wear emergency necklaces. And I have a pacemaker. Okay? One thing that really concerns me is how much a candidate does to ruin my life and to be voted in. Okay? I happen to know the majority of the people in Centerpoint, Alabama.
What's your question?
My question is, 2 weeks ago, by the way, I have 63,000 electronic certifications in electronics. One of these 3 candidates hacked into my emergency contacts.
Do you have a question, Ms. Cagle?
This is my question. 2 of them shook my hands tonight. The other one told me, get away from me.
Just give me your question, Ms. Cagle.
My question is, would one of you like to fess up to which one of you hacked into this phone of emergency contacts?
Well, Ms. Cagle, unfortunately, I love your spirit and your energy. That's hearsay, and we're not gonna ask the candidates because that's not a question, so.
Thank you, Sheila.
I appreciate you, Ms. Cagle, but we're gonna keep it. But I'm sure if you'd like to go up to those folks, they'd be glad to talk to you tonight. Is that okay? Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, and good luck on your health.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's go over here, and I'm coming back there, Jazz.
Hi, my name is Anita Pope. I have a comment and a question. My first comment, public safety is a huge concern of mine. But my question is,
Put the mic up.
okay, my question is, October the 1st, what is the first project you'll be working on from October the 1st once you're elected?
It's gonna be thrown away.
I'll start with Mr. Burks and Ms. Collins and Mayor Scott. What is the first thing you'll be working on once you get elected?
The first thing that we're working on is getting the budget straight, making sure that that budget is what it says it is, and putting and start working on our chief to come into existence.
The first thing that I would work on is addressing the budget and making sure that our funds are allocated to the priorities of the city. And the priority that I see as the #1 priority is public safety. There needs to be a real plan where dollars are in that plan to address public safety. And so what that looks like is hiring our first hire for the police department, who will work with myself and the council to build that police department. And then moving forward from there, again, looking at that budget and seeing how do we grow the police department and implement the police department and a small enough report so that we are addressing public safety. Thank you.
Mr. Scott?
Well, I'm currently already working on a number of projects. I meet with our current public safety department supervisor tomorrow, actually, to discuss hiring of additional police officers. Second to that, we have a lot of infrastructure issues in Centerpoint that we are currently working with ALDOT and Jefferson County on getting additional roads paved and street lighting throughout our community. So we just signed a contract at the last council meeting to add 13 lights to our city. And the goal is to continue adding those lights throughout the neighborhoods as we need them or as we see fit for that area.
Thank
Is
you,
there a
Mayor.
time frame?
Time frame,
for the
she would like to know
lights
the
and
time
also
frame for
the
that,
public safety?
for public safety.
So what we do with the lights is we go out and we find dark areas. So if we have residents that have reported areas where they would like a light, or we have our scouts, public works, looking to see where lights can go, they create a list. That list has to go to council. Council can approve that lighting, and then Alabama Power will start installing that lighting.
So is that a year, 2 years, 6 months?
It's literally months at a time. So we do those in groups for the council. So months at a time.
At a time, okay.
And for the police officer hiring, we have been looking. The issue is everybody's having a hard time finding police officers right now. So we are currently looking. We're in the process. We have been looking for a while, but we do want officers that suit our city.
Thank you. Do you have a question?
Well, I'm a candidate running for City Point City Council District 1. I want to do more at the community center. I think the community center need to be brought up. There are a lot of empty rooms. It can be provided as resources to our city. We can bring in a lot of different organizations and nonprofits that offer resources to our citizens. Would you guys be willing to do that? Will you be open to making that center bigger and having it like a family area where the whole family can have something to do? And are you guys willing to bring in more? A lot of kids, when they graduate from school, they don't go to college. So what about bringing in programs for college, like after school programs for the kids, like picking the kids up? That's like 2 questions, but I have a lot of ideas, but picking the kids up. But what I'm saying is, are you willing to bring more things to the community center? And we're willing to work with us if we get elected as council people.
Thank you. I think that question is twofold, it is. So I'll start with Ms. Collins. Are you willing to expand into programming and other things to have more things to do? I think that was number 1. And are you willing to work hand in hand with council members to make sure that is a reality?
Absolutely. I think the community center has great programming now, but there is opportunity and room for us to grow. And we can partner with nonprofits and other community organizations to ensure that we're offering programming that touches every citizen in the city. So yes, absolutely, I'm willing to work with the council, willing to work with community organizations to ensure that we have diverse programming so that all of our citizens can enjoy the community center.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, we're always open to listening to our nonprofits and what they request of us. We've made space in the rec center for nonprofits at no charge by council decision already, just because they need that space for meetings. The Boy Scouts moved out of their building in the Civitan. I've talked to them. We want to create an agreement for the Girl Scouts to give them a place. We want a place. We also want to make that a space for women that have gone through domestic violence issues so that they can have a safe space. So Centerpoint has always supported its nonprofits. We did this year. We're looking to continue to support nonprofits that help build up and support Centerpoint.
And Mr. Brooks.
Oh yes, we need more things at the center. We need more things, not only just at the center, but at the Silverton Park also, and the senior centers. So we need to be working with our citizens to bring in some things for them. Along with that, some different programs that also include the Spanish-speaking community, because we have a lot of Spanish-speaking community over there. So we need some programs for them to integrate them into the system also.
Thank you. We have a question.
Could you tell me just a brief synopsis of what is the actual role of a mayor and how that the citizens would be able to hold the mayor accountable and how they interact with the city council and what is their specific role as far as the citizens are concerned?
You want to know the role of a city mayor and And what they would do, you want to know they know the role of their role. Okay, let's go with you, Mr. Burks. What do you think the role of the mayor is? And then we'll go to the mayor. What do you think the role of the mayor is? And then we'll go to Ms. Collins. You have 1 minute.
The role of mayor is the executive of the city. He is to make sure that whatever goes across the city council desk and is approved, that he make sure that it's executed throughout the city. He's also the supervisor of the city. So if anything that goes wrong, he is to answer for it. So he has executive employees that's over
30
work,
seconds.
the garbage, not the garbage, but the landscaping and everything, horticulture and all that, but he's the one person that you can go to and make sure that stuff is happening.
Ms. Collins.
So the mayor is the CEO of the city. The mayor manages the day-to-day operations of a city. The mayor submits to the council the budget, telling the council, advising the council how much he or she may need to operate the city. The mayor makes sure that any ordinances, any laws passed by the council is executed throughout the city, is enforced throughout the city. Again, the mayor manages the day-to-day operations of the city. Thank you.
Mayor Scott.
Everything they said, plus the mayors are typically your public servants, and a lot of times they are the contact person in certain cities. We just went to districts, so that will make it a little bit easier for residents to contact their council person. But for the last 5 years, I have been a point of contact for our residents. I have served our residents in this role on a personal level. A lot of cities, you don't have access to the mayor the way Centerpoint has access to their mayor.
30
So
seconds.
along with everything else, the mayor is a public servant.
Thank you. I have a question here.
Okay, this is a question. This question is specifically for Mayor Scott and President D.M. Collins. I typed it out so I can remember. Transparency. We heard a lot about that on the previous forum. Transparency. Do you believe there is true transparency regarding our budget? If yes, please explain. Is Centerpoint truly struggling financially? The issues that people complain about, is it due to a lack of money or revenue?
Mayor Scott, we'll take you, and then Ms. Collins will take you.
Okay, so there's anything that you request through my office, you can get. I don't have an issue with explaining to my residents what things are spent on or what we need funding for. It all goes to the council anyway. I have a $5,000 spending budget, spending limit. Anything over that $5,000 has to be approved by the council at council meetings. So I don't have an issue with providing finances,
30 seconds.
budgets, different things like that. So there's not a money problem in the city. We have done a great job of maintaining the money that we have in our budgets, and we have literally doubled our general fund, our spending line. We went from 700,000 to 1.4 million as a running balance in our bank account for the general fund, and our dimensions account, which is our savings, has doubled over the last 5 years due to a tornado that we had, but that money can be used to go back into our community.
Ms. Collins.
I do believe that we are pretty transparent with our budget process. With our budget, I think the process and the discussion, we can do a better job of making sure that our citizens understand and know specifically what we're spending funds on. Our budget outlines a category of what we're spending funds on. But what I've heard tonight is that our citizens want to know specifically what we're spending our funds on. So we can do a better job of communicating that to our
30
citizens.
seconds.
The other question was
Financially, are the issues people complain about due to a lack of money?
No, we
Struggling financially.
We are not struggling financially, but we do need to do a better job of allocating our funds to the priority of the citizens of Center Point.
Thank you. Okay, we got this question and last question.
My question is this. We're dealing with the budget and the road fund. You stated that you have Alabama investing in lights, which means that you will be spending a monthly cost for them to maintain those lights. Have you considered having a hybrid, just like the police force, and having solar lights where there is no cost to the city and or the citizens?
They want to know if you would consider solar lights. I'll start with you. Mayor Scott, you, and then I'll go with Mr. Burks, and then I'll go with Ms. Collins. Have you considered another alternative into your lighting plan?
Yes. What a lot of people don't realize is that solar lights can cost just as much as those lights from Alabama Power, because you still have to pay maintenance, you still have to pay a monthly fee alongside the material. So Mr. Williams had previously brought that up. And he wanted lights for, I can't remember what area it was, but I immediately went and got a quote for solar lighting, and just 20 lightings cost $62,000, and that's with a monthly maintenance fee. So I have no issue with solar at all. I think that's something that we can look forward to in the future. Alabama Power is not 100% solar friendly right now for obvious reasons, but yes, I think that would be a great idea, especially for parks and short roadways.
Mr. Burks?
I agree with for the parks and areas that like the schools and stuff like that. I would agree that solar would work better. And I do understand that with the solar, you have to buy the poles, you got to stand them up and all the other stuff that goes with it. So yes, I would agree on solar, and I also agree that right now, that Alabama Power would be the best thing to do on this right now, because I've seen some of the budget numbers, and $10 to $15 per light is not too bad.
Ms. Collins?
I think that adding solar lights would be great. Of course, we will save some money. It's not as much as many people think, but we will save some money. But also it's earth friendly, right? So I think that we definitely should add that into our parks, into our neighborhoods. We have a restriction on putting our powered lights at certain intersections. So if we incorporate those solar lights, we can add more lighting and ensure that our neighbors feel safe as they're out when it's nighttime.
Thank you.
Stan?
Yeah, be brief.
How can us voters be sure of two of you? You were here in the past 4 years as a council president and as a mayor. So far, we have potholes in our streets, businesses that went out of business, the city looks like a wreck, it's a blight problem, fight the blight, and nothing's really, and there's trash all over the place. How can we be sure we can trust in voting for two of you when you've already had a chance in the past 4 years?
Mayor?
We're going to take the mayor, and then we're going to take the city council president.
Ms. Crago, over the last 5 years, you called me, I can't even count how many times, and I've answered you every time and taken care of your issue. Roads, Centerpoint has paved every road that it maintains over this last 5 years. What most people don't realize is that 85% of Centerpoint's roads are maintained by the county. The county has to put those roads in their budget before they come to see Centerpoint. And we have gone to the county. We have a system where we can send those roads over to the county. The county does have plans to continue paving roads, and they have paved a lot of roads in Centerpoint. We are currently working on the Parkway right now with LDOT and funds from the federal government to get the Parkway paved. The Parkway has not been resurfaced in over 20 years. With that paving, we want to do crosswalks and street infrastructure lighting all the way up the Parkway. So, and I'm always open for, I'm available, I'm a very approachable, contactable mayor. So if anybody has any questions, as opposed to just hearing whatever everybody else has to say. You are more than welcome to contact me.
Okay, Ms. Collins.
Serving as your council president has truly been one of my greatest honors. I can say that what I have learned over the last nearly 5 years is that it is a tasking job being a public servant. But I do believe that Centerpoint has an operational and management issue, and that is why I have decided to run for mayor, because we need a leader who's bold enough to address those issues and has a vision to see Centerpoint beyond what it is today.
Thank you so much. Your final question will be this. And I think Ms. Cagle kind of alluded to it. Thank you very much for answering that.
But it also includes Mr. Burks. Each one of you have had some major leadership roles. Current mayor, city council president, and also being in the leadership of the police department. What makes you and why are you running for this seat? Mayor, why are you running again? City council president, why are you running for mayor and not council?
And Mr. Burks, from the police force to the mayor's force, what brings you to the table to want to be mayor? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Burks.
What brings me to the table to want to be mayor of Centerpoint is simple. I love family, and I love Centerpoint, and I want Centerpoint to feel safe. I want my elders to feel safe. I want my children to feel safe, and I want change in Centerpoint. We've had 5 years of the current city council and mayor. The promise was that they was going to start. When are you going to start?
30 seconds.
You've had also the fight the blight. When are you going to start knocking them houses, apartments down? We can change Centerpoint, and I'm bold enough to do it.
And Ms. Collins, moving from the city council to city council president, and now you want to be mayor. Why?
I believe in Centerpoint. It's simple. I believe in Centerpoint, and I believe that Centerpoint can be better. It can be greater. But what I've learned over the last 5 years is that it's going to take a visionary leader, a leader that is willing to be bold and make those decisions that will move Centerpoint forward. And that is why I've decided to run for mayor of Centerpoint.
And Mayor, you're currently sitting. Why do you think the citizens should return you to your seat to yet serve another 4 years?
I started out on the council for Centerpoint. I actually started out in Little League sports and decided that I could help my residents from a different perspective when I ran for city council. By the residents' request and seeing my work, they requested that I run for mayor. I ran for mayor. We have gotten a lot accomplished, and I take nothing away from my council. I appreciate the work that they've done, but we do have work to do, and we've started a lot of different things. If you have a mayor in a position where they sit on a number of boards throughout the county and the state, why would you want to remove them from being able to speak on Centerpoint's behalf? I serve in a number of vice president for the MPO, first vice president for the National Black Caucus of Locally Elected Officials. I chair the Information Technology Committee. A number of things that have put Centerpoint in not only a local light, but a national light. We need to continue that work. We need to continue to have Centerpoint's voice in the rooms and continue to help our city move forward and grow.
Thank you. All right, parting shots. You got 30 seconds to tell us your final pitch to these residents,
To all of the viewers here, to the hundreds of people watching and streaming live and watching this, and it will be rebroadcast, by the way, so the people who couldn't be here or want to check it out later, all of these have been, will be rebroadcast. At this time, we're going to ask each of you to give us 30 seconds, your strongest pitch. Talk to that group there. These are your voters. August 26th, 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. is around the corner, and why should the voters pick you? Ms. Collins.
I am Dia Collins, and if you want a better Centerpoint, a safe Centerpoint, there's only one name on that ballot that you should be selecting on August 26th, and that is D.M. Collins. I can assure you that I will work on your behalf to make sure that when you go home at night, that you feel safer than you do tonight. D.M. Collins, August 26th. I need your vote for mayor of Centerpoint. Thank you.
Mr. Burks.
I am Frederick Burks. I've served you in Centerpoint, around Centerpoint, through the city of Birmingham for over 34 years. I've seen where you were and I see where you are now. I can bring the change. I know the change and I can do it. If you want a safer city, if you want your kids to be safe, your merchants to be safe, if you want that kind of change in Centerpoint, vote for me, Frederick Burks, on August 26th.
Mayor Scott.
I've had the pleasure of serving as your mayor for the last 5 years, and I look to continue to serve as your mayor for the next 4 years as we continue to move our community forward. I've always touted that I am a public servant first. My people, the residents of Centerpoint, come first. They always will come first. We are going to continue to build and work together as a friendly council, as a respectable council, as a logical and well-planned council with the mayor's relationship. And we will continue to move Centerpoint forward and grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I let you all give these great candidates a hand, you got some things to choose from. Give them a hand. So come out, share your things, and so your audience is going to the viewers as well. The reason why your mayor has served 5 years
and the council is because the new law, and the reason why you have all these races, is so that everybody in the state of Alabama, except for a couple of municipalities, will run, and they will run together. You had so many, Bessemer had an election, Birmingham had an election, now Pleasant Grove, Trustville, Irondale, Fulton. So now they gave every municipality an extra year due to the new law, so that now all municipalities, all elected city councilors, elected school boards, and also elected mayors in all the cities pretty much in Alabama will run at one time. Part of that had to do with the cost to run an election and all the work and everything that went into an election, and then election exhaustion. You all run, you do presidential elections. You've got county elections coming up across the state of Alabama. You've got statewide elections coming up. So that was to cut down on most of it was a money thing. Most of it was to make sure that you knew you weren't going to all these elections. So that is why he has served in the capacity, they have served in the capacity, I think the city council as well, in 5 years. However, after today's election, next week's election, August 26th, they will go back to serving only 4 years. I know that was a little confusing from some people. Again, give it up for our candidates, and thank you for being here tonight. Also, thank you to the organizers of this event, the Committee to Save Jefferson County. There are a couple of members here. Can you raise your hands? Sarah Beth Conco, Marcia Forrest, William Muhammad, and several others. There's a lot of members, and so they have done forums. This is my 9th one. This is my 9th one. Around everywhere. So, I mean, I said, we're going to Centerpoint? That's going to be hot. I like that. We don't get out here that much. Don't get out here. So thanks to the citizens for having this group. I'm just your moderator. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. And I've enjoyed that. Also, thank you to First Impressions, to our guy, Jarvis Escott. There are 2,000 people watching you right now, live. And I want to thank you, the viewers, and all of you who have participated. We will rebroadcast this, and Mr. Escott will do that on First Impressions Media. So thank you as well for joining us in the world of technology and live. Again, I am your host, and I'm honored, Sheila Smoot. I've been around, I won't tell you how many places. I've been a county commissioner and currently definitely doing government affairs. And I have a radio show, TV show. You can catch it on CBS 42, the Sheila Smoot Show. Don't get a gun, get a lawyer. I do a crime piece. And don't be a sucker, be a consumer. I'm the softer side. I don't do a whole lot of politics. I just talk to them and keep it moving. But thank you all for having me and letting me moderate your very important race. And thank you all as well. And now I want to wrap up. This is why we're in this community space. Churches are not, we've been in churches. Hoover has churches. They've been over there, it's going on over there, it's going on in Foothill Gardendale. Everybody has a race. And we are thankful to clergy for allowing community to use this as community space. So churches are not endorsing. Churches are not endorsing. They are allowing their communities to come into the space through the weekday to use the space as a community gathering. With that said, I'm going to invite the pastor, Charles Parker, up of record at this wonderful church. He's such a kind man, such a wonderful guy. And he's got perfect. Thanks to you.
God bless you. Let this be. At this time, let us bow as we pray. Father God, we come once again in the name of your Son, Jesus. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this forum, Father. We thank you for the candidates here, Father, for the city council. We thank you for the ones who are running for the mayor, Father. We thank you so much. And Father, we thank you for the citizens who have come out to participate in this forum, Father. Thank you for all who have put this together, Father, to bring knowledge to us as citizens and that we can make a good, sound decision, Father. But Father, we just lift all of this up to you because you know who is who. We put all this in your hands, Father, and we just trust you, Father, to bless us, to select the leaders of this city, Father, that you select, Father. Bless us tonight. Forgive us of our sins, Father. Love us as your children. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. You are dismissed.